So, something strange on the channel, a bit of Battlefield 4. I did say a while ago that I was kind of done with this game. I did want to stop being just a Battlefield channel. That is still the case. I don't want to be just a Battlefield channel again. I didn't really enjoy that, but I wanted to carry on making Battlefield videos. I just felt Battlefield 4 was that broken, I couldn't enjoy it anymore. Enjoyed the Hardline beta, but Battlefield 4 kind of killed it for me, but it is much better now, and I'm not going to talk about the patch because there's a lot of videos like that about. I'm actually going to talk about Battlefield Hardline and how I think it's got a lot to learn from what happened with Battlefield 4, because the release for Hardline, I think, has to be good. Has to be a good release because after Battlefield 4 and how tragic it was, they can't afford to get another game wrong on release. So Battlefield Hardline has to hit the ground running and just be enjoyable from the off. Now Battlefield 4 is great now, it feels really good, and everyone's praising DICE and saying, oh, hail DICE, this feels wonderful, but we shouldn't forget that this game has been out a year now. And so for the last year and for the entire of its first year of release, this game's had more problems than Jay-Z. So yeah, it's good now, but it's a year on. So we all know Battlefield 4 was rushed, and for me I'd kind of call it a Michael Bay game, because if you watch a Michael Bay film, it looks nice, lots of really big pretty explosions, but not much substance to it. And Battlefield 4 is the same, explosions everywhere, evolution, nice looking maps, everything looks great, perfect for cinematics, but to play often felt like dipping your testicles in a cauldron of hot acid. So there is a lot to be learned prior to the release of Hardline, and so far I would say early signs are looking good. Firstly, I really enjoyed the beta, so much more than the Battlefield 4 beta. I really didn't enjoy that beta that much. You could feel the issues. I wasn't aware at the time that it was the issues. I thought I just sucked. So I'd only recently moved to PC, but it was the issues first showing themselves. And for me, the Battlefield Hardline beta ran better than the Battlefield 4 beta, and actually was a better experience than Battlefield 4 at the time and for a long period after it. Also, after playing it at Eurogamer, I'm still really enjoying it. It's really good fun, which is what I want to see. But recently, Jack Frags released a video, I think it's about a week ago, with an interview with one of the guys behind the game, and what he said as well sounded quite promising. Now I know it's all his word, and you have to take it just with a pinch of salt because we won't know until the game actually comes out. But the fact that they actually delayed the release as well, for me, was a good sign that they want to get this right and they want to incorporate things that we want and you know, sort of take note of our feedback and try and get the game right for us. And he stressed the importance of a stable release at launch, you know, a stable game at launch. So for me, that's a good thing to hear. But then again, we had Patrick back calling Battlefield 4 magic, and the only magic we saw was the magic that causes the game to shit all over itself and stew in it for a few months. So I guess the new patch is the magic he spoke about. But yeah, a year on, Battlefield 4 was rushed. We need Hardline not to be rushed. Well, little things he said make me think that they're trying to maximise and optimise the experience for the player. And the campaign actually sounds good for a change. You know, you're going to have something it's not just a linear campaign running down the street shooting somebody, going to the next bit shooting somebody. It sounds a bit more like the old Gears of War campaigns, but even expanded on that, where you have a choice of routes to different places. If you remember, when you play Gears of War, your squad would often split up and you could take the high route or the low route. But with this, you're going to have options of how you do certain areas of the campaign, which I think sounds really interesting. And little features he talks about in the multiplayer, where if you run up to somebody, you need some health or some ammo, and they have no awareness. You know, you're stood in front of them spamming need ammo, need health. On Hardline, you're going to be able to just take it from them, take the health, take the ammo, take what you need off the person who is supplying it. So they're trying to make the multiplayer sort of not just stable and not just deal with the big issues, but the little things that can sometimes annoy us on a game of Battlefield. So they're trying to really maximise the experience for the player. But for me, it's all about the stability. I know the game has the potential to be fun, which is something that lacked in Battlefield 4. It is a lot more fun now, it is stable, I must say that. I think a lot of the problems were due to the instability. But I still think it could have had a bit more fun injected into it, you know, the kind of things we have with Scavenger on Battlefield 3 and you know, using the crossbow and knife only servers added that element of fun. And Bad Company 2, extremely immensely fun. For me, Hardline does capture that area of the franchise that I really wanted to see return. I love the way that when you're doing a multiplayer game, it has a setting to it. It explains you're in downtown, there's been a robbery, or it explains the sort of situation behind the fight that you're involved in. So provided they get it right on launch, and I think, you know, if they just look back at all the problems with Battlefield 4, it's a great learning block. And the fact it took a year to be stable, I think had they been given maybe 3 or 4 months without people playing the game, they could have got Battlefield 4 stable on a later launch. They were trying to compete with Call of Duty Ghosts. There was no point because that game was tragic, so I think they have a lot to learn, and I think they know they have to learn from Battlefield 4 and get the release right. So I think that was the main reason behind the delay, and they want to sort of take our feedback on board and make sure they give us the best experience that we can have. So I'm quite optimistic about Hardline. So I don't know about you guys. In fact, let me know in the comment section below. Also, to all the guys who put themselves in for the Evolve alpha, sort of, not alpha code, it sort of gets you a chance in for the alpha. Please check your Twitter over the next couple of days. I had to re-find the codes, I lost them, I found them now, so I'll be DMing you those codes over the next couple of days. And keep your eyes peeled. I think next week probably I'll do the video on Verdun, where I will give away a key for that as well. But until next time, leave your thoughts down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. You guys take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all very soon.